Williams, Katie Ledecky, Diana Taurasi, Simone Biles, all of these women, icons, frequent mainstays in the greatest American female athlete of all time debate. But there's a name that absolutely deserves to be a part of that conversation that you need to be more familiar with. Her name, Mikaela Shiffrin. Shiffrin is an alpine skier who may fly under the radar in terms of mainstream GOAT conversations, but when she is flying down those snowy slopes, there's arguably nobody who can match her skill or speed. Don't believe me? The accolades speak for themselves. Mikaela Shiffrin holds the record for the most World Cup wins, surpassing 100 victories as of March 2026. She's won 6 overall World Cup Crystal Globes and numerous discipline titles, including a record 8 in slalom. Mikaela is the most decorated American alpine skier in World Championship history, with 15 total medals. She's a 4-time Olympian. She's won multiple gold medals, including slalom in 2014, giant slalom in 2018, and most recently in the 2026 Winter Olympics. We now welcome the aforementioned 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Mikaela Shiffrin. What a mouthful all of those accolades are, but we are so happy to have you with us. Hello, Mikaela.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
Great. And
how are you doing?
She brought the championships here with us. So it's good vibes all the way around, okay?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to meet you. You are something special. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Mikaela, just a week removed from clinching the women's overall FIS Alpine Ski World Cup Crystal Globe. There it is right there. That ties the record. 6th title. Congratulations. I know now this is fresh. Season just kind of came to an end. But if you can put into words what this season was like for you, what would you say?
I mean, exhilarating. This season has been a whirlwind. During the Olympics, we were actually throwing around the term vortex quite a lot. And honestly, it's just, it really has been in some ways a little bit of a dream. I was able to get back to This Is Giant Slalom playing here, and I was able to get back into the top 7 in standings in giant slalom after a really bad injury last season, and that was a huge victory for me. I was able to win my 9th slalom globe, which is a small globe on the table here, and then of course my 6th overall globe, and of course the Olympic gold. All these things came together. It was just it was a big effort from a lot of people, and I'm really grateful.
Kayla, I imagine, listen, with every great athlete I've ever interviewed, there's a moment in time. They didn't always know they were going to be that great, but there's a moment that hit them when they were like, I'm that person. I'm that guy. I'm that girl. When did you know that was the case for you, that you were somebody that would be this special?
I don't know if there was really ever a moment. Sometimes things hit me like well after the fact, after they've happened. When I was younger, I wanted to be the best ski racer in the world, and I didn't know what that looked like. I looked up to athletes like Bodie Miller, who were doing such incredible things in the sport, and so many of my idols. And I just thought, like, that overall globe, that one, I want that. And who knows if I can get it, but I'm gonna work really hard. And that was kind of my path. And flash forward, I guess now I can say it's all worked out really, really well, but I'm not the kind of person who ever really believed it would happen until it did.
So you mentioned Bodie Miller. Are there any other sports icons, figures that you admired or looked at growing up? Male, female, it doesn't have to be skiing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I watched quite a lot of tennis growing up. So definitely Serena, Billie Jean King before that. Really, really big fan of Roger Federer.
Have you had a chance to meet or talk to any of them?
Yeah, I've actually spoken with Roger quite a bit, pretty often. He's always been the most kind, just truly, like a real inspiration through and through.
Amazing.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is that in 2022, obviously you struggled in Beijing and you were very, very hard on yourself, and then you come back in Milan and you win the gold. I want to know what that period was like for you, and not only that, I mean, to go through what you went through, to look at yourself and to judge yourself so harshly, to overcome that. What was that experience like for you, and how did you do it? How did you reverse course and correct things the way that you did?
Oh, goodness. I mean, you're right. It is like you are your own harshest judge or toughest critic. And in sport, we're taught and trained to constantly look for improvement, especially in an individual sport. You're constantly looking inward at yourself, what you're doing, your physical shape, your mental shape, whether you're doing enough, if you are enough. And it can, you can really tie your own self-worth and your value to the success you have on the slopes, at least for me. So Beijing was a catalyst for a lot of growth in my life. I started seeing a psychologist after that, sort of partially because of the experience I had in Beijing, but more so because I hadn't really even started to dive into my grief after my dad passed. And it all kind of came together at that timing after Beijing. That was like, I really think I'm gonna need to like open up the brain a little bit here and see what's going on in there. Up until that point, I had never really thought it necessary, but now I will never go back because this has helped me in communication skills and in team management work and like helping to bring everybody on my team, the staff and coaches and my ski technicians and everybody who's involved and who work so hard every day for this dream. We bring each other together and to really, to show up in unison. And that it kind of goes without saying, but it's not always the case that you really show up with your team feeling unified. My biggest fear this year after Beijing, my biggest fear going into Cortina was that I was going to feel really isolated and alone. And because of this work that we've all done together as a team day in and day out, I didn't feel that way. I felt fully together with them every step of the way. So I think that was probably the biggest area of growth.
Amazing. Mikaela, obviously your growth is showing with the accolades and your resume. We really appreciate you joining us here on First Take. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck the rest of the
We
way.
like goats on this show. We like
right.
goats on the show. Way to go, girl. Way to do your thing.
Oh,
Pleasure
thank
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.